Good afternoon, everyone. It's 5:30. That's 12:30 in the US on Tuesday, the 12th of October. And finally, on VectorVest US, we've got a little bit of green on the front page. If it stays like this until the close, so the short-term trend of the US market's been up, now for 3-4 days. All the other measures of the trend are down, but certainly that green light showing that the price of the VectorVest composite is up day over day and week over week would be a welcome sign that the bottom maybe is in. So VectorVest advocates caution when buying stocks at this time. The buy-sell ratio is improving, 0.7, and the MTI is improving up a tad from yesterday at 0.84. This 0.84, the MTI needs to go above 1 before the underlying trend, in fact, turns to up. So if we have a look at my old friend, the S&P, we've got a very mixed situation here on the S&P. Yesterday afternoon, the market went up, clipped the high of Friday and then turned again and then charted a very emphatic outside bar. And the market is down today as well. So lots of Fibonacci at work, as I've mentioned to many of you before, from that low to the high. The 4300 support level that's held is a 78% retracement of that. And if we get rid of that and do a fib from that high to that low, we can see that last Thursday's high was in fact a 78% retracement of this. So an awful lot of geometry at work. This pullback in 3 waves, as I've suggested on many occasions, needs a close above this high to prove emphatically that the pullback is over. However, I think that a close above last Thursday's high would be very solid evidence that the pullback is over. And that's what I'm going to try and wait for. Market is selling off. If we have a look at the 24-hour market, that's the 24-hour market, and that's the sell-off yesterday. It went up right at the open and then slumped into the second half of the session. As you would expect, these lows are fib, and if I try and find fib here, very difficult on the tails to work out where the fib is going to go to, because many of the analysts will in fact look at that tail and try and investigate what volume was done in that tail. But substantially the market found support here at that 62% retracement. Those of you that are familiar with harmonic patterns will know that that 3-wave pullback first put on the map by a gentleman called Harold McKinley Gartley about 100 years ago in his book, How to Make Money in Stocks. So that's quite a positive pattern, and I was looking today for a push up, and at the minute we're actually challenging this level again. I think that as long as 4340 and these lows hold today, then I'll keep my long position. I actually went long in the pre-market at 4355, and my stop loss is underneath that low at 4327, 4328. So based on the Gartley pattern, and we'll see whether it works or not. It was looking very good for a while, and then I took my eye off the ball, and it's now pretty much where I got in. So the trade is still running. And so in the US, I haven't bought anything yet, but I think apps has got away on me. If we have a look at the 2 shares that I am most interested in, based on my own patterns, is NVIDIA and AMD. And if I chart those, you can see that we've got this Gartley stroke spring pattern. And I would certainly, they're on hold recommendations at the moment, But if that green light, in fact, stays to the end of the day, then I'll be interested in buying into those if it breaks above that level. That's what some people, that used to be called a 1, 2, 3 bottom, but I see it's now called, some people call it a pocket pivot. So there's nothing really new, they just get new names. So I move up through that level, that would be a 1, 2, 3 reversal, and I think coming after this spring stroke Gartley pattern, that in fact would be a very good entry. And a very similar situation on AMD. I really like this pattern. I've mentioned on many occasions this ran on high volume and it's pulled back on relatively low volume. As you can see, the earnings per share is going the right way, and close stroke an excursion above that level, and the general market positive. Certainly a break above last Thursday's close on the general market, plus a break above this level, which is in fact also last Thursday's close. That would be very positive indeed, and I think both those shares will do well. I need to wait for a little bit of a pullback in apps, but apps is going great guns at the minute. So nothing done in the US, just trying to follow some simple rules, and certainly that would be very welcome today, that green light. In the UK, the primary wave turned up yesterday, and still no evidence of any green in the UK. And I haven't added to any positions, but I've been busy formulating a watch list. And these are stocks that I don't own, that I'm looking at. And I've spent quite a bit of time this afternoon justifying this selection in a video that'll go out to the VectorVest subscribers at the weekend. So I've some very aggressive plays and some more conservative plays. The stocks that I am holding are these, and still holding those 2 gold shares. Gold up a little bit this afternoon, and in particular I'd be interested in adding to Cape, and I'd be interested in adding to JD Sports if things goes well, and maybe Pershing Square if things go well as well. So for first time in a long time, I have a considerable amount of cash, and I've spent most of the day today putting together a watch list of shares that I think will be that I'll be looking at very carefully for an entry when the general market turns. In the UK, I think the DEW market timing system has worked exceptionally well, and I think that I'm going to wait for that DEW market timing system to give me a buy signal before jumping in. So playing it very, very carefully. It's been quite a good year, and I wanted to end that way. I'm still very positive of a big run up into Christmas. Once we get this pullback behind us, and if we go back to the S&P 500, I'm not quite sure as to whether this is over or whether we need another rundown to generate some liquidity below these lows. I mentioned to you a couple of weeks ago that my friends in the city tell me that there's still big bids on the S&P futures down around 4,250, down around these lows, and the market can certainly come back and fill those orders. Okay, and then a whole host of people will get stopped out underneath these lows. So just be careful. I know that doing nothing is much more difficult than it would seem. I think that if you're a long player in the stock market, as I am, a close above last Thursday's high would give me a great deal of confidence before putting my money online. So I hope that helped. I'm sorry about the ringer. I've been doing these videos now for years, and I should have enough nous to switch the ringer and the phone off, but I didn't. I hope this helped. Thanks very much.